Okay, so that will be our regular process now. If you get any assignment, you just need to upload it over there itself in Google Classroom. So it will be easier for you. You don't need to use any other platform or email us. It will be there, right? Uh, so that's okay. For today, we will start with a biosphere. Now we have some contents over here about a biosphere. In this biosphere, we would be talking about a definition of biosphere, origin, and the use of terms in biosphere, biosphere concept, physical properties of biospheres, and factor affecting biosphere. Now, if we are supposed to define a biosphere, the biosphere is a global sum of all the ecosystem in a ecosystem. It can also be termed as a zone of life on Earth. A closed system. A closed system, what does that means? Apart from the solar and a cosmic radiations and the heat from the interior of the Earth and a largely self-regulated. So it is everything that leads to the it leads to the life on the Earth. So it is a life zone of Earth. Now, biosphere has an ecological origin. It is an indication of efforts of both. Right? These are the two scientists who have taken the efforts, Charles Darwin and Matthew Melville, on Earth science. The biosphere ecology context comes from 1920s, preceding 1935 introduction of term ecosystem by Sir Arthur Tansley defined ecology as a science of biosphere. It is an interdisciplinary concept of integrating astronomy, geology, geography, meteorology, biography, evolution, geology, geochemistry, hydrology, and generally speaking, all life and earth science. So now, from where this biosphere word origin? So biosphere word was first origin or is introduced in 1920s, and what it was for? It was used for the ecosystem. Now this ecosystem, that means everything. It includes everything, including it integrates what astronosphere, astrono- astronomy, then physics, meteorology. So that means it includes everything which is on Earth, which is inside the Earth, which is above the Earth, but it exists in the life sphere. So everything that includes in the life sphere, inside, outside, and on the Earth includes to the biosphere. It could be on the again it could be inside Earth. That means it could be above, under the sea levels and on the sea levels also. Now, use of term. The term biosphere was conceived by the geologist Adius in 1875, which defines the place of Earth's sphere where life develops. So basically, it has started from 1875. The first scientist geologist gave the name of biosphere, and it was only the Earth dwell where the life exists. Now, when we talk about a biosphere, biosphere includes everything that is on the sky, on the earth, and on water. So all these things which are present over here that includes in the biosphere. Now, When we are talking about a biosphere, what are the ecosystem that follows on the earth? There are several types of different animals and the categories which are distinguished in the biosphere. First, as a main source, we consider a human being, as we human being the major portion of this biosphere. Although we don't play the major role over here, but as a human being is known as a social animal, we consider ourselves as the social animal over there and a divine part of biosphere also. So when we talk about a biosphere and we are as a divine part of a biosphere, now let us know what it is. So we as a human being, as a life, then it leads to the birds, then we can go to some animals, insects. Beyond this, a microorganisms also plays a role in the biosphere. So you can find the microorganism everywhere, everywhere. That means if you are on the earth, you will find a microorganism. If you are above the earth, you will find the microorganisms over there. And if you are inside the earth, you are below the earth, you will also find some microorganism living over there. This microorganism plays a vital role in the ecosystem and to maintain the ecosystem of the earth. So this is what we understand about a biosphere. In this biosphere, this is the shortest, this is the smallest thing. When we talk about a microorganism, it is the smallest portion of biosphere, and the largest portion of biospheres are the mammals. Right. In the present scenario, we talk about the human beings, and more than above the human beings, it is the blue whale, which is the largest on the earth, which is the most huge living being on the earth, living structure on the earth, I can say, right? A living organism on the earth is a blue whale. So it doesn't differs from the size, it doesn't matters about the size. All the things that matters is what it is and why it is a part of an biosphere. So that is the major thing that we need to take into the consideration. Now, let us talk about this biosphere. In this biosphere, if we talk about a birds are some organism that lives on the air. So, majority of its time when it doesn't land, it lives on the air. Can you answer me any other organisms, any other living organisms that are the part in the atmosphere? So majoritarily there are only the birds which are there on biosphere and some insects, yes, they do live in the atmosphere, but majorly as it is a part of an biosphere, but this all lends to the earth, and like we can say that lives in a tree on the trees and many other things. No one rests on the biosphere, but there are no one rests in the atmosphere, but there are some organisms which are continuously living in a atmosphere and which do not land on the earth, but there are microorganisms which could not be seen from our naked eyes. Now, when we talk about a lithosphere, lithosphere includes everything. For example, human beings. We human beings live on the lithosphere. Some insects like earthworm or bees or honeybee or mosquitoes. These are the parts of lithosphere. More and about the animals like dogs, cat. and wildlife that are the also a part of lithosphere. And more and above all these things, we also observe some microorganisms living on lithosphere. For example, the fungus or a mushroom. Mushroom is a type of fungus itself. So this all things we are part of an lithosphere. Now, when we talk about the hydrosphere, in hydrosphere, the fishes, the aquatic life that occurs beyond besides the earth, and it lives on the hydrosphere. It lives in the oceans, it lives in the lakes, it lives in the rivers that are the hydrospheric life. Majority fish, shells, aquatic plants, algae. These all things are the part of an hydrospheric biosphere. So these are the portions which lives in the biosphere itself. Right. Now moving forward, concept of biosphere. Biosphere concept is common to many scientists in disciplinary includes astronomy, geophysics, and geology, hydrology, biography, and evolution, and is a core concept in ecology or science and physical geography. So, biosphere plays a vital role in many different branches of ecosystems, many different branches of studies, and that leads to ecology, physiology, physical geology, astronomy, and many things. Now, let's see which are the parts, right? Level of organisms. First, when I talk with a level of organisms, when we are talking about a galaxy, it leads to the universe and the solar system, and now we comes to the Earth. Now, when we talk about Earth, what are the ecological content? Ecological content includes the biosphere, biomass, ecosystem, communities, populations, and organisms. So these are the parts which are in a ecology. Now when it comes to the atom level or a microorganism level, it is our organism, tissue, cells, protoplasma, molecules and atoms. So these are from smallest order to the highest order of universe. Now what are the physical properties of atmosphere, biosphere? The physical properties of biosphere is the terms of a surface reflecting and exchanging the heat and moisture with a atmosphere are also critical for understanding a global circulation of heat and the moisture and therefore a climate. Alteration in both the physical and the chemistry of the Earth system by the biosphere are fundamental in undertaking the antennosphere of global warming. So biosphere plays a vital role because we also study about the heat exchange and the atmospheric changes and the biology. So in this biological conditions we understand this because what happens, biosphere is affected due to all these things because biosphere has a life in atmosphere, it has life in a lithosphere, and again it has a life in hydrosphere itself. So when the lives are present in all these three sphere, the water cycle or the ecosystem which is being generated is moving according to all the spheres. It also moves in all the sphere. Why? Because if we talk about a water cycle, it starts from the oceans, leads to the atmosphere, and ultimately ends or concludes at lithosphere, and again gets housed with a hydrosphere. So this is how the ecosystem works, and this is how the biosphere also goes with, right? So again, the changes and some problems like a global warming could be understood by these biospheric properties. Now, this is the biosphere at all. Now, factors affecting the biosphere, difference between the Earth and the Sun. Distance between Earth and the Suns. Seasons and seasonal climate changes are directly results to the tilt of the Earth towards or away from the Sun. Summer month allows a half of the planet to warm while other half cools. 6 months later, the temperature shift around the opposite direction. So this is a process where the biosphere again gets affected. Why biosphere? Because every life gets into the blossom when it is under the sun, which if it is directly in connection with the sun, and thus everything goes with it is continuously connected with the suns, the radiations which are coming to the earth, and how it is also, and again how in what way it is acting. So there are a few many things which takes into the consideration during this. Okay, now we talk about the chemical erosions is a great example of landscape changes one molecule at a time. Oxidation and reactions changes the computation of rocks and the organic materials. There is also in a biological erosion. Tiny organisms such as bacteria, fungus are contactually working to break down the organic and inorganic materials. So this is all things how what it happens. For example, with the seasonal changes, there have been generation of new microorganisms, and with the seasonal changes, this microorganisms dies also. So this is a cycle which is being followed by the biosphere. In this biosphere, what microorganisms do? Microorganism plays a vital role in what? It plays a vital role in the creation and destruction of many things. For example, some microorganisms convert, some bacteria converts inorganic matters to the organic matters, and some microorganism converts organic matter to the inorganic matters. So these are the bacteria, and it plays a vital role in our ecosystem itself, and also a part, and it are this that are also a part of an biosphere. Okay, so this was the end of an biosphere. We were supposed to study this biosphere for today, and we conclude our biosphere over here. So, Alfred, what are your next task is? You need to prepare some presentation on biosphere